Happy Monday, everybody. Back at it again. Here we go. You see my fabulous Christmas lights? Yes, 'tis the season and I love Christmas. But what I love just a little bit more is working out with you guys. So today we're going to get kind of creative. We're going to play with light dumbbells, one block. You're not really going to need anything else. We're going to do some single leg work. We're going to be doing a little wood chopping and twisting. So just some playful things to mix up some of our more basic exercise. Make them a little bit more creative and a little bit more exciting so you can, as always, mix up your workout. So again, remember, I'm going to give you a handful of things. We're going to run through them a couple of times, or at least one, depending on how time permits. Because I have been informed by my cousin in Colorado, thanks Trace, that I talk a little bit too much. Shocking. Everybody knows this about me. So you'll get my voice, you'll get some exercises, and you'll get a little fun workout. So here we go. We're actually going to start in a down dog, just as like a warm up for like 5 deep breaths, right? So find your mat, step on back, set up your alignment, get a nice big stretch going in the backs of the legs. You can always bicycle, walk the dog, bending and straightening, sashay the hips side to side, start to get those arms ignited and heated up for the practice ahead of us. Then take a nice easy up dog. That's just like a big cat dog tilt, right? It gives us that nice spinal extension we're looking for to wake up the body. Maybe we want one more of those, just a nice big stretch. Again, lengthening out. Then walk those hands and feet somewhere to the midline. Grab opposite shoulder or elbow, okay? Get nice and heavy in your toe ball mounds. That's the front of the feet. And then just a nice, easy little twist or pendulum swing side to side, kind of wrap around the low leg, let the head go, no tension there. Then you can release your arms down to the floor, and then just a nice gentle bend of the legs as you ragdoll roll to reset. Maybe give yourself a couple of little arm circles, just again to get some blood flow. I like a nice easy twist. That helps me reset my spine a little bit and just check in with the tightness around the hips. Again, just another warm up, right? And then as always, back behind, give a nice chest expansion, ear, shoulder, ear, shoulder. So those are some of my basic warm-ups I do with my clients before every practice or every class. Just once again, kind of gets us going simply. So we're gonna, sorry, dog's barking outside, that's constant around here. We're gonna do just a nice easy squat with a lateral leg lift, okay? So you're gonna squat, lateral leg. Now you can have hands on your hips, okay? And you can see that my leg that I'm lifting is slightly bent. It's not locked out, it's just comfortably bent. But I'm lifting it out to the side laterally in line with my hip, keeping my big toe pointing forward. My feet are parallel and I'm working on that perfect squat. So this is a lot of work on not only the standing hip, but the hip that we're lifting, right? So again, you'll do about 10 to 15 repetitions on that one leg before switching it out, and then you'll go right into the second side, right? So again, it's okay to pitch slightly to the side to be able to lift that leg a little bit higher into the air. If yours only comes up that high, that's great, right? We're working on flexibility and movement in that outer hip. So right now, if you're like my hips, they're getting a nice little burn on, right? So we've got some nice glute work going on here, but also, of course, fronts of thighs and a little bit of hamstring. Let's do a few more to try to even it out. Nice weight back in the heels. Remember, booty back as we lift that leg out to the side. Okay, really good. Shake that out. I like to do maybe like a little hip cock to one side, hip cock to the other. That just stretches those attachments right in that leg. Really, really good. Now we're gonna do this wide sumo standing abdominal work, which I love. It's playful, makes us work in a different angle, a different plane of the body. So we're gonna take an inhale. We're sitting in our sumo squat. We stay there, all 10 fingers behind, and then we're gonna reach our elbow all the way out out to that knee. If you can only get to maybe mid-thigh or maybe right up here is all you have, that's okay. You guys remember to work with your own body. Now from the side, you remember, you keep going. You want to keep that back against an imaginary wall. So you don't want to bump too far forward or it's going to come out of the abdominal, it's going to go back into the booty and the legs. So you want to stay really upright. And so if you don't have the flexibility to go the rest of the way, work it out until you do. You see there's no movement in my legs. I'm staying isometric there. And I'm reaching that elbow side to side. You're going to start to feel this in the intercostal muscles, those muscles along the ribs, but also way down low into that oblique and maybe a little of the QL in the back. So we're stretching, kind of like yoga, but we're also working, which I love, 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 right? So we're just taking this nice, and we're also, of course, working those legs out, which is never a bad thing. Let's go for 5, 4, tummy in, staying low, back against that immeasurable, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. You can shake those legs out, give them a little love. Maybe do another twist or a nice inhale to kind of reset. Maybe take a nice side bend. That's going to stretch out some of the stuff we were just working. Even in that squat with the lateral raise, releasing all that out. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to pick up our light set of dumbbells, or you can go, remember, 4s, 5s, all the way up to 8s or 10s. I just don't use heavy weight because I'm too old and I've been doing this too long. So light weights work just perfectly. You don't need to overdo it. Now we're going to do a tricep kickback, okay, with a leg kickback. So you're going to be balancing on one leg. There's a few ways to do this. The hardest is going to be to elevate that leg up high. So you're already doing this little single leg squat because the other leg has to be bent and you're slightly pitched forward at the waist. Elbows up high, then you're going to kick it back. If you do yoga with me, you're going to see this as like a warrior 3, right? My chest slightly forward. I'm kicking that leg back behind me. Now you guys keep going. If this is too advanced, set your toe down, kick, set the toe down, right? Kick, set the toe down. That's going to help you regain your balance. If you're full out and you're feeling it, then you're right here. And that base leg is doing all your work. So remember, we kick back, full extension through those elbows. Keep it going, maybe 4 or 5 more. Your base leg should be getting really fatigued. And again, remember, you can modify right here, okay? And you don't even have to take this leg back to start. All your weight is just in that other leg. So shake that standing leg out, okay? Give it a little love. And then we'll go right into that second side. So once again, remember, modify. By putting all my weight in that leg, then just touch my toe. That's level 1, okay? Level 2, we kick, but we come back to the toe. We kick, we come back to the toe. Level 3, we're coming up into this tight little squat position. We're staying in it, and we're extending that leg back behind us as the arm bones go back. So we're working backs of arms. We're working the hip stabilizer joint. Got a little hammy and glute going on that kicking leg. You guys, really good. Nice straight spine. As always, tummy in. Think about your yoga. Get your oxygen going, breath, movement. Let's do a few more so we're nice and even. Remember, I talk, as my cousin reminded me. I love her. She's one of my best friends. And then you guys keep working. Make sure you do the same amount of reps on each side. So if I'm done, or you're done and I'm still talking, do a stretch. Grab a quad. Reach over and touch the toes, right? After a while, you'll get to know the video enough that you'll know what's next and you can just move on with or without me, okay? So that was a nice, easy single leg kick back, right? With our triceps. Okay, now we're gonna do a suitcase squat with a really easy bicep curl, right? Because we want to get all of our muscles in. So we go suitcase squat, which is just dumbbells right next to those shins. And then as you stand up, you're going to bring it to high tabletop. Okay, so we're going to go suitcase squat, bicep curl, single leg. Squat, curl, squat, curl. Nice and slow and methodical. Sit your booty back, okay? Keep your vision set. That'll help your balance as you lift that leg up. Now, what is this doing? Well, of course it's working on balance, which is so important as we age, but it's also working the low leg ankle stabilizers, which I love because we don't take enough love for those low legs. They balance us all day long. Okay, and then of course it's going to bring the heart rate up a little more intensely. Why? Because we're single legging it. We're stepping side to side, right? So same rule applies, 10 to 15 repetitions. Maybe you're just going, maybe you want to stay on one side because it makes your brain not have to focus, right? Maybe you do 5 or 6 on one leg and then you switch it out and do 5 or 6 on the other leg, okay? But really, maybe you only lift it a tiny bit, right? Because you're not quite there with balance. Maybe you just come to a toe, okay? Because you're not ready to lift that leg off the floor, but you're getting that same movement as if we were, and the legs are still working. So the bicep curl really secondary there, but it gives us a nice little strong arm, adds the weight into the workout. You guys are doing so awesome. We're gonna take it on down to the floor now. Here's one where I would crisscross my dumbbells for a little extra weight, but you don't need to because it's always okay just to have one dumbbell, okay? So this is gonna be a spinal balance with a row. So as I said, what I'm doing today is just playing with different really foundational exercises and adding a twist or adding an element so it ups the ante, right? It makes us work a little harder. Plus, it's more fun. So block under one hand, dumbbells in the opposing hand. Same leg as the block, behind us elevated to the sky. That's your spinal balance, okay? So same leg as the block hand. Then we're gonna row and release. Row and release. You're gonna feel, keep going. You're gonna feel your oblique. You're gonna feel booty and hamstring. You're working your whole core, keeping it lifted in that spinal balance. Now remember, we can just go one dumbbell. We don't need 2, but you can. Maybe this is where you get your heavier dumbbell, but I still just like a nice, easy dumbbell because I'm working so many other things during the spinal balance, right? So just a nice release, a nice lift. You're pulling it right alongside that body, igniting that subscapularis, that shoulder blade area. Those are those spinal muscles we want to strengthen. Keep this leg lifted. It's going to want to float down, right? And here's another thing. Modify. Both knees on the floor, right? You're like, no, can't do it, falling on my face. Not in the mood today, Chris. Too many crazy things. You keep both knees grounded. You still stay active in your core. And then you just do the row right there. So then all we do to switch it out, take that block into the second arm. Get yourself long. Set up your spinal balance, keep the hips dialed down super strong, and then go right into your second side, okay? So again, it's all about where you are. Maybe this is where you are today. You're still gonna get a great core. You're gonna still get that upper back and shoulder, neck is long. Otherwise, add in that leg. Then we get the booty work as well. We're really strong throughout. Maybe you have the crisscross weights for that extra added weight in the back and in that arm. You'll also feel the tricep here, which I love. Let's do just a couple more, making sure that we're balanced, that we're doing it all the same. You guys, awesome. Pull and release. Really good. Now, between sides, maybe it's a child's pose, right? We just want to press back. We want to lengthen some of that tightness that we get from spinal balances in that low lumbar area, the QL. Let that head rest down. Take 2 or 3 deep breaths. Then we're going to come on up. We're going to come into boat pose. I call it boat pose Navasana, just like in our Sanskrit in yoga. Now, modified feet stay on the floor, okay? Get your one light dumbbell advanced. We lift those feet up and we go boom, up and over, boom. So we're doing this nice up and over arc, okay? So we're engaging those side obliques, trying to keep those feet up, those shins parallel to the floor, and we're just coming up and over. We're going up and over. Right now, feet down just as hard. And sometimes you can ignite the abs a little more intensely or pick up your tempo a little more intensely, right? But either way, feet down or feet up. Try to do about 10 or 15. It's gonna be pretty gnarly. You're gonna feel all that advancement in the body. We're going for 5, 4, come on, tummy in, ignite, keep it going, 3, work into Christmas, 2, and 1. I like a nice butterfly pose after any kind of boat. Help stretch hip flexors out a little bit, which help keep the legs elevated. Again, that low back, which is where we get so much tightness going in that low back. We're working those abdominals. We're gonna lower on down. This is gonna be a little bit of leg and abdominal, which I love. Always take your thumbs. You can hook them under the booty, right near the sacrum. Take legs up the wall pose, okay? Make sure your shoulder heads are down. You're engaging your core into the floor. That's how we do it. And then I call them Russian kicks. You're gonna split kick your legs dynamically fast, almost kissing the heel to the floor, and then kicking the other leg up. Now keep your tummy in. You'll start to feel those abs engage. If you want an advancement, come right here and make it more of a crunch position, right? Or play between the two. Down low, flat back, Russian kicks, or come up nice and high and give yourself that nice strength. Maybe 30 seconds to a minute. You get great hip movement, hamstring flexibility, and as always, those abdominals and core are firing. Let's go 5, 4, maybe we're flat right here. Maybe as a modification, it's one leg at a time, right? Slow it way down. There's always some place to take a workout. Even if you're not feeling it, we can always modify, or advance. Draw a couple circles on the sky with your knees. That's just gonna help reset the sacral area. Take a few deep breaths to bring that oxygen back down. Then rock yourself up to a seat. Take a really easy one hand across the knee, the other hand behind you, spinal twist. That's gonna stretch the belly, the back, even the upper back and shoulder that we worked on. We're gonna do a couple breaths. Remember, we're slowing things back down. We're bringing it back in. Whew. Breathe and release. So you guys, I'm trying to promise to keep these videos at about 15 to 20 minutes because I know some of you, it's like you want to do this in the morning before you go to work. I mean, I'm sweating. Could you do that again? Absolutely. So run this video again, rewind it to the beginning and go all the way back through it. Or if you remember it or some of it, play with the exercises we did. Create your own program with the stuff I'm teaching you. Write it down, make it go in different variations. This is all about you guys staying with it, keeping motivated, and having fun in your workouts. You guys, happy Monday. I look forward to talking to you and working out with you the rest of the week. Bye.